Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
All kids out of the pool for Adult Swim. All kids out.
Lego Lord of the Rings Balrog raised eyebrows for what some fans say is an unfortunate pose. I see it. I see it. Oh, I see it. It's taking a piss on Gandalf.
You shall not!
And he says to her, listen, you got a fine white girl ass. So I don't like the look of this D. Listen, I don't need gay or straight boner pills. My boner works just fine.
Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Sanusi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
Yeah, I want to see movies! I think I've died and gone straight to honker heaven. Boobs are amazing.
Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Dive, the Double D's, where you, the chat, the gatekeepers, you're in charge. I think you're in charge. I don't know. I might have just come out of the fourth dimension. I might not even be myself from this moment in time. You'll understand soon. Anyway, hope you guys doing all right on this Wednesday, half of the week. I apologize if I am a little off right now. I did not have a good night. My mattress popped a hole last night, and I essentially had 7 one-hour naps because I had to wake up every hour to reinflate it. Otherwise, I'm on the floor. So I got sleep, but it doesn't feel like I did. I feel a little disoriented, and this remaining sick that I got is not making it any easier. So bear with me today. I will, as always, do the best as I can. I don't sleep on a water bed. It's an air mattress. I have not had a real bed since I moved back from China. So I've been sleeping on an air mattress for years. I have a horrible rotation of air mattress purchasing that I do year round. It's terrible because, one, I don't want to move a real bed. That's one of the things. Last time I had a bed and I moved with it, the dumb sons of bitches, the movers that we got, they took the mattress out of the box that they had put it in, and they dragged it. I saw them. They dragged it across the parking lot as they were bringing it into the apartment. So I am because of that, I decided, I'm not, even though I first have to find a real spring mattress. F these freaking foam pieces of shit. Got to find a real mattress with springs in it. You could flip over, stuff like that. First, I have to find one. And two, that's a couple $1,000. And then I'm not moving it because I don't trust freaking movers. I don't. So I sleep on an air mattress, and it popped a hole last night, and I just, every hour I had to refill it because otherwise you start to sink. Sometimes the hole is so bad you get 2, maybe 3 hours where you got to do it. But no, last night was one of the holes where I had to every hour 20 minutes. I'm away. I wake up to refill it, and of course the remaining of the sick. I felt like shit all night, so it was not a good night. I'm half here, but half of me is sometimes better than most people. So you guys can accept that. I know you can. Anyway, all right. I hope you guys are having a good day so far. We got stuff to talk about because, as usual, the internet does provide. There's always a little bit here and there. Continuing stories, continuing thoughts, and everything is based around the fact that the rules apply as they always do. $10 for an Adam rant, because this the show. You, the gatekeepers, you're the ones that decide what happens. $10, give you an Adam rant. $10 I'm sorry. Blah, excuse me. $15 gets you Ask Adam a question. I'll tell you no lies. Have a discussion. That's my favorite right now. That is the one I really enjoy the most. $15 also gets you choose an article from the articles you may see in the news or one you may have found, and I'll give you a hot take, instant reaction. And then $35 gets you chat, maybe watches reviews, which we have one today, Southland Tales. Thank you, Kel. And we'll have a little talk about that at the end of the show. But everything, all tips, super chats, memberships go into the December donation tiers. We got two of them. One is the Be Merry tier. One is the Be a Grinch tier. On the Be Merry tier, for every $100, I have to be nice to somebody until after Christmas. Grinch tier, opposite. I got to be a dick and a bully. Now, if you reach that $100, it's a consensus who I have to be nice or mean to. But if you drop that flat hundy, you get to decide instantly who it is. And for an extra $50 per person, I can either give extra positive reinforcement or extra bullying. It's up to you. And yes, you can reverse. Choosing a Merry tier can reverse a person on the Be a Grinch tier, and choosing a Grinch tier can reverse somebody on the Merry tier. So yes, you can reverse it. So that's how it works. And I hope you guys keep enjoying it. We're having fun with it so far. We're making it weird sometimes, but we are having fun with it. Anyway, as I said, we got a show today. I got a show for you guys. No monologue today because my thoughts are tied into what we're going to talk about anyway. So I don't need to go down that road. Let me get a drink real quick, though. Make sure the throat survives. Yes, this is great. We're having a good time here. All right. So what are we doing? We got the news, and we got Southland Tales, chat, maybe watch this review, but at the same time, there are some things to talk about. Well, let's go with this one first, because I caught this one last night when I was sometimes it makes sense to prep for the show. Just any things before you go to bed, so you have a thought of where you're going to land during the day. And it was early being morning, but anyway, I caught this one this morning. It was technically today, where we've been following, of course, the saga of the Warner Brothers takeover. We've been following that, and it's had a lot of interesting ups and downs. We are now in chapter 2. Now that the deal has been put into motion, chapter 2 involves many things. We've talked about it recently. Paramount is staging a hostile takeover. Netflix says they are confident that they'll get it. They're not afraid of Paramount, but they have no power anymore unless they want to start buying shares. On the other side, though, let's get into the what if Netflix wins all the way. We've talked about it in many ways that people fear that if Netflix finishes their complete takeover of Warner Brothers, it will mean doom for movie theaters. It will have a detrimental effect on probably television creation because Netflix doesn't know how to make television. If they did, they wouldn't take 10 years to make 5 seasons of Stranger Things. They are still very committed to the DEI intersectional political agenda. There's been announcements of many things that have been released or coming out that are still pushing. It's mainly among them. I saw this one yesterday. Pedro Pascal's brother, who thinks he's a woman, is starring in a movie about a troon miner. Yeah, you heard me. And of course, we know the DEI stuff. There's also been reports, data collected to show that their children's program is still packed with indoctrination and agenda for the message, the troon message, the alphabet mafia message, and stuff like that. So Netflix is not a good place for creativity. But they're also a business. And you would think as a business, Netflix would want to they'd want to make as much money as possible with the property, with the IPs they're getting. And I know you guys know this answer, but I'm going to pose it anyway. The question: what is the most profitable industry in the world today? Give me 3 seconds. The video game industry. Video game industry outsells the entertainment industry, the rest of entertainment, movies, comics, TV, books, by billions upon billions. It's not even close. So if you're Netflix and you are purchasing Warner Brothers Studios, you would think that, hey, guess what? Why don't we use these IPs we've gotten and make more video games with them? Apparently not. Apparently, Netflix sees no value in Warner Brothers games, but are super excited to exploit the properties they've built. And we know Netflix does play around with gaming on Netflix games, which nobody touches. Let's read this a little bit. Looks like it's out of the frying pan into fire for Warner Brothers games after a rough few years of subpar output and lackluster sales. Very true. Very true. Their parent company's recent purchase by Netflix looks to spell significant trouble for the embattled video game home of Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, and the larger DC universe. Okay, so let's remember, Hogwarts Legacy, massive success. Massive success. Mortal Kombat, not so much. It's been a struggle. MK1 was a disastrous release. And the DC games outside of the Arkham series are generally failures. Gotham Knights, the Suicide Squad game, and every other game that tries to get made and doesn't get made, all failures. All failures. Arkham games are the only winners. And I know there's the DC MMO, but that doesn't really count. It doesn't count. As previously reported, December 6th on Netflix and Warner Brothers, blah, blah, blah. We know what they bought that. Let's get to this part here. Though both entities have shaken on it, the sales far from done. As we have now, they have to go through the regulatory process, and also Paramount has launched its hostile takeover bid. Unfortunately, for those studios under the umbrella of WB Games, including Hogwarts Legacy, developer at Avalanche Software, Mortal Kombat franchise, Stewart's NetherRealm Studios, and Rocksteady Studios of Suicide Squad, blah, blah, blah. And Netflix's massive offer was made with absolutely zero consideration or interest towards their video game offerings. Asked during their post-announcement press call, as attended by both investors and members of the media, if Warner Brothers' assets enhance or accelerate the success on the gaming side of their operations, which currently consists of a handful of in-app streamable titles, including Red Dead Redemption, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge, Netflix co-CEO Gregory K. Peters explained, it's worth going back again to sort of how we thought about the deal and building our valuation model. While they definitely have been doing some great work in the game space, we actually didn't attribute any value to that from the get-go because they're relatively minor compared to the grand scheme of things. That's a boomer statement if I ever heard one. What you have here is somebody who doesn't understand that video games makes more money than your piddly ass streaming company. Well, I'm going to phrase that. It makes your streaming platform look piddly ass. That's how profitable gaming is. Makes Netflix looks like a kindergarten kid standing next to a high schooler. That's how much money gaming makes. Netflix is a retard. This shows you they don't understand the world that they're getting into. Yes, as we've already stated, is Warner Brothers Gaming a success right now? No, it's not. They've had some shitters. But just a short year, 2 years ago, they had Hogwarts Legacy. So there's potential there. And they have some of the most profitable IPs coming towards them if the deal goes through. Make another good Lord of the Rings game. Continue with more Harry Potter games. And of course, try and make a good DC game. Point is, Netflix has zero clue with that statement. That shows you they do not understand the golden goose that is gaming. Now we are super excited because some of those properties they've built, Hogwarts Legacy is a great example of that, have been done quite well, and we think we can incorporate that into what we're offering. They've got great studios, great folks working here, but we think that there's definitely opportunity there. But just to be clear, we haven't built it into our deal model. So that shows you they have no idea that they can make more money with gaming If they actually put the effort in, they'd make more money in gaming than they do with their streaming shows and their movies. Is there anything else to this? All right, we're just gonna break down the stuff like that. Here we go. And yeah, Lego games too. Lego games. People buy the Lego games. So right here, this is a clear example of why a lot of us think Netflix was one of the worst possible end results of this whole buy Warner Brothers sweepstakes. Because they have no idea what's really going on outside their streaming platform. Jeez, man. You have the chance to make a Superman game, to resurrect maybe that dead Wonder Woman game, to make a Batman Beyond game, and you don't realize this. You do not realize you have the potential to make billions. Because Netflix has the money to invest in these gaming studios. They've got the money. And the return would be massive. But no. We didn't factor that in. And that just proves that Netflix was not the best choice to buy Warner Brothers. All right. Done with that. I have a drink. My throat's dying. You can hear it. Oh, I got careful sips. Not chugging it. Careful sips. And now I have to blow my nose. Excuse me. All right, let's see if that gets me through the show. All right, so yeah, that's retarded. That's bloody retarded. Yeah, porn makes money. Then again, I haven't paid for porn in years. So but that really is retarded. That Netflix thinks that they don't even comprehend the amount of money they can make with owning these properties for their video game options. It's retarded. Well, Weasel, being a furry, I'm sure you're aware how things grow in size and shape, and how dressing up in certain ways certainly excites you and other furries. But no, my heart has not grown 3 sizes too big today. I'm a little off my game. I could have come up with something better there. Anyway, can't breathe. But so I find it fascinating that Netflix doesn't get it, that they have such a potential cash bomb with gaming. And like, oh, we didn't even consider that. Well, I mean, Dermy is my bestest friend ever, but unless he's here or one of you bring it up, it's not something I have to talk about. Everybody knows that we're bestest friends in the world. They all know that. All right, so that's all. Unless you guys want to keep talking about that, that's all I have to say about that. I'm sure we'll come back to it, because we'll come back to it on Sunday, because we're going to keep talking about this evolving Warner Brothers sweepstakes. We'll see if the hostile takeover gains any traction. We'll see the retarded stuff that they all keep saying about. There's even another story that we've learned now that Tencent was trying to get in on it, but as soon as they became aware there'd be a national security review of them purchasing Warner Brothers, they ran the fuck away. No wonder. Oh, all right. What else have I got? I got something else, but we'll do this first. So this dropped today, because tomorrow, even though we couldn't react to it anyway, because I've already made it clear that between the likely copyright music plus the fact that Warner Brothers are dicks. Tomorrow we're gonna get the Supergirl trailer. Which I'm sure is going to be, what's going to make all the stands finger every hole in their body. But today we got a fresh poster. Have you guys seen this one yet? Make it a little bigger. There she is. Truth, justice, whatever. The stands love this. The stands love this. They think this is the coolest thing in the world. They think this is cooking. They think it's peak. They're excited for the brain rot trailer they're going to get tomorrow. That's going to be all sizzle, no substance. And they're also excited that it's once again being confirmed that this movie is a direct adaptation of Tom King's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. But let's break this poster down right here. And let's lament that this is not the Kara Zor-El that we would want from yonder better years. All right, trench coat, headphones, the Tom King outfit, the I'm hungover sunglasses, the posture of I don't care. Where's the inspiration of hope? Where's the inspiration of heroism? Because this is a look at us, we're punk rock and we're cool. Because punk rock is the new kindness. Remember that. So you're looking at this thing, and its vibe is we don't care about being heroes. We care about being edgy. We care about being hip. We care about pimping Millie Alcock to her simps and to the stands who have been indoctrinated and programmed to think this is exactly what we want. Because there's that line in it. We talked about this on Sunday when Dre lost his fragile little mind. How the Tom King comic book is one of the most hated things out there. But every single stand that's proud of this says that it's the greatest presentation of Supergirl you're ever going to get. And if you don't understand that, well, then you're the tourist. We're not the tourist because we like it. You're the tourist. You're old. You don't need to be here anymore. So you see this, and it's a whole presentation of we don't give an F. And that's not what Supergirl is supposed to be. Supergirl's journey. Let's remind people what Supergirl's journey is. Supergirl's journey. She's Kryptonian. She was already this age when Krypton went blue. She was sent to Earth to look after Kal-El, to make sure he grew up safe, to be his protector while he grew up. But circumstances happened and she wasn't there. Take your lore point, whatever, whether it's Phantom Zone or whether it's caught here and there in some space anomaly, whatever. You pick your origin. Problem is, she doesn't get there. She arrives 20, 30 years too late. And Superman's already grown up. Kal-El is Clark Kent. He is Superman. And he is the hero that we know and love. But yet we haven't seen in any of these adaptations here. So then she arrives on Earth, and now she has to learn from him. Suddenly, he's the adult and she's the child. But with the Kara Zor-El that we know and love, she has aspirations to be like her heroic cousin, to be just like Clark, to be like Superman. So she takes on the moniker Supergirl, and she goes through her arc, learning, getting it wrong, but learning, but having that enthusiasm, that respect, that love, that joy. And then is she a careless teenager sometimes? Yeah, of course she is. Of course she is. But she has a journey, and it's a fun one. And it has a conclusion. She goes to the future, falls in love, stays there, because her place, the present has Superman. The future needs her. And that's where she goes. But it's an uplifting, powerful, engaging story. Not whatever. Truth, justice, whatever. This is the modern bullshit. The disdain, the dismissiveness of respect, of truth, justice, and the American way. This whole thing, they think it's going to break the internet. Now, listen, it's probably going to do numbers in social media tomorrow. But as we know, social media numbers do not translate to success. They're trying to say all the interactions is going to mean it's great. They think it's going to be peak. They think it's going to be awesome. It's going to make $1 billion. No, this movie's going to make 350 to 450 if it's lucky. If it's lucky. Because there is no outside of stands, no excitement for this. There's disdain. This is insulting. Yes. Did James Gunn write and direct this? No, he didn't. It was written by a Whammons and directed by some guy I don't know. But he is an executive producer. He's the head of the studio. Don't tell me, as Dre would put it, his booger-stained fingers haven't left prints all over this. So this right here, we've discussed what's going to be in that trailer, the high-octane trailer, and we get this tomorrow. It's going to be filled with disdain for heroism. It's going to be about blippity-blip, brain rot, quick-cut action. With the soundtrack created by the guy who scored Game of Thrones, apparently. That's the other news of this today. Guy who scored Game of Thrones is doing this, which I don't give two silly shits about. I'll watch this when it comes out. We're going to watch it. We're locked in on this stuff. We are locked in. We're going to watch the stuff. We're going to review it. We're going to discuss it. And we're going to probably piss all over it because it's going to deserve it. DCO hasn't done a damn thing to earn my trust, to earn my support, to earn my goodwill. They had one chance of Superman, and they blew it. And now here we go. And we're getting this movie June 26th. I believe it used to be May. I think they pushed it back a month. Can't wait for this to happen because, once again, I think the most interesting will be how will they protect this film for the next 6 months, 6.5 months. How are they going to protect this film? Because it's going to be as protected as Superman 2025 was. I guarantee it. Anyway, I'm done for now. Let's tomorrow we'll likely talk about the trailer, and then we'll have a panel reaction this Sunday on Roundtable. Yep. This is this whole thing is the Supergirl stuff is terrible. Yet I didn't show them because it wasn't my place to. I don't want to do it in this segment today. But there was the stands love this. They think this poster is peak beyond peak. Oh, it's cooking. I hate fucking Zoomer lingo. Oh, it's cooking. Oh, it's looking good. It's so hot. It's aura. She's aura farming. Hate that shit so much. I hate it. Hurts my boomer brain. I can't handle it. And I'm not feeling well today, so it's even worse. I'm irritable. I'm very irritable. You can't already tell. Yet I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I didn't yell and scream. I kept it very even. Before we get in the news, have you guys got anything? No. You have not submitted anything. All right, then. Let's get to the news. Let's go to the news, see what's going on. Anyway. Here we go. Let's refresh everything, as is the practice. Make sure we have the latest news of what's going on. What are you doing here? There we go. Okay. Let's check out the news. What are you doing? Stupid Chrome. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Lucy Ball does a series spanning their lives and development from Lucy Arnaz and Bob Greenblatt. Yeah, they had a very troubled life. That was not a happy marriage. I don't want to see that. I don't. Lucy and Desi were not happy. They were not happy. Remember, Lucille Ball, genius comedian. Genius. Don't care. Listen, Cinema United chief Michael O'Leary on threat of movie going from Netflix buying Warner Brothers. We cannot survive simply on blockbusters. He's right. Entertainment needs to remember what the mid-tier movie meant You spend a little bit of money. You make 4 or 5 mid-level movies, and they each make a little bit of profit, and you keep you make the money that you need to keep the studio afloat. The art of the mid-tier movie, it's lost because of Disney. Primarily because of Disney, everybody thinks everything has to be a home run billion-dollar blockbuster. It's not. It doesn't need to be. I don't care about Lincoln Lawyer. I don't care. I don't care about Frankenstein Composer. Best movies 2025. Didn't we talk about that yesterday? I think I talked about that yesterday. That's the thing though. They use the math of giant blockbusters, not understanding that if you spend maybe just $25 million on a simple action movie, that'll make maybe $150 to $200 million, and you make 5 of those. Oh, look at that! You've made about $100 million in profit on each one, and you've made $500 million. They don't understand that. They think everything has to have $200 million budgets. Don't care about this. Excuse me. Like I said, man, 7 1-hour naps. I'm tired. It was a rough night. I don't care about Courtney Love. Never cared about Courtney Love. Moving on. Bigger is always better. Why media mega mergers are no substitute for the vision innovation. That's actually true. What have I said? I've said this since this whole Warner Brothers thing started. Monopolies will not solve our entertainment woes. It will not solve the problem that they can't make anything. It's not going to solve anything. Consolidation doesn't solve a thing. Hanoi Jane Fonda stands up for a living wage. No democracy survive when millions of families cannot afford to live. Well, why don't you give them some of your money, Hanoi Jane? Why don't you? You traitor. Woman's a traitor. She's a traitor to our country. Has been for 60 years. Traitor. Full of shit. YouTube TV to launch more than 10 cheaper genre-specific plans, including sports tier with ESPN Unlimited. Yeah, I'm not buying into YouTube TV. How Netflix's Warner Brothers mega deal stunned Hollywood and sparked a fight from David Ellison. Yeah, I've been covering that on this show on Roundtable for months now. We know how it is because we covered it since the beginning. China Film Co-Production Corporation's China Film Pavilion debuts at Red Sea International Film Festival. China slop. TikTok announces live podcast series launching with Demi Lovato. Once again, I would remind everybody that Demi Lovato has become normal again because she remembered she loved dick and got married and is now normal again in terms of at least behaving like a woman and not being weird. Probably still politically unhinged, but on the female side, she's become normal again. Cheryl Hines on why she lost contact with Larry David. I think he's mad RFK Jr. is in the administration, but I would be happy to see him. Yeah. I think Cheryl Hines had a come to Jesus moment when her husband was brought in with the Trump administration and realized that, wow, things ain't so bad as all my Hollywood friends tell me it is, and they're all a little crazy. I'd wager she had a come to Jesus moment on that. I don't know who that is, and I don't care. Universal Music opens new U Music shops in New York and London. Does anybody buy music anymore? I mean, when I say buy music, I mean physical music. Because physical music is done. I mean, I know people retro buy vinyl, and I was never into vinyl, even though I was sort of raised on it, but I don't personally care. I don't care. Johnny Depp says first English language adaptation of Mikhail Bulgakov's classic, The Master and Margarita. Hey, Johnny's got work again. Billie Eilish, with her fugly face, large eyebrows, and surprisingly large breasts, even though she's ugly as sin. Surprises fans in L.A. Lily Allen stuns. Listen, all right. I don't know why people are into her. I don't get that. Big tits are not a substitute for an ugly face and a bad personality. Warner names Jeff Sauce now president of Reprise Records. Just getting that in there so that's locked in for the merger. Box office, Zootopia 2 battles Five Nights at Freddy's for number 1 as Ella McKay aims for $4 million debut. I don't even know what that is, but Zootopia probably has already crossed $1 billion. I'm a guy. Listen, I don't shave my eyebrows off like you do to match your whole shaved furry persona. I'm a man. I have man eyebrows. Billie Eilish has eyebrows like me. And listen, I do my best to trim my eyebrows. And I know I have a problem right here on this one where this part grows up a little weird. I have a problem with that, but do the best I can. And also I get shit from my mom when she cuts my hair. Did you trimmed your eyebrows too short? Because I use my electric trimming device that I have. I have a eyebrow grooming device thing, put a little thing on it, whatever. But yeah, I know I have large eyebrows, and I don't like that I have large eyebrows, but I do. I try to rein them in. Billie Eilish should not have man eyebrows. That's simple. I have man eyebrows, and I'm aware of that. Russo brothers and Agbo crown St. Joseph as Italian American film. Whatever. I don't care. Beyonce, don't care about Beyonce. Oh, yeah, they dropped an Avatar Season 2 trailer. Avatar Last Airbender Season 2 trailer. Aang meets Toph. Azula bends lightning as Netflix's live-action series returns in 2026. I've seen the posters. The kid they got to play Aang went through puberty. He went through puberty, which is exactly what we said was going to happen. They had a problem. He was the proper age and size. Because remember, Avatar Last Airbender takes place over a year and a half. Or about a year. Roughly a little over a year. It's not a long story in terms of a saga. Aang doesn't go through puberty, but the kid they got to play Aang has gone through puberty. And boy, did he grow up. He got bigger. And we know they're going to butcher Toph. Listen, I couldn't even finish that season. I got so caught up on other things, I never finished watching it. So I know it's fucked. I don't care. And it's going to do nothing. But once again, Netflix fucked it. They fucked it. They had a winner. And they fucked it. Star Search, Netflix reboot pushes release date back away. Oh, so we're doing Star Search. Who are they going to get to replace Ed McMahon? That ain't going to work. Percy Jackson, the Olympian Season 2 is darker and just compelling. And I'm still not going to watch it. Because Rick Riordan hates the people who like the original story. He hates him because he's a deranged, TDS MFer. The drama trailers. Zendaya and Robert Pattinson are getting married and losing their minds in A24 dark comedy. Ooh, I pass. Hard pass. Very hard pass. Sigourney Weaver praises James Cameron's anti-AI technology used on Avatar films. He invented it to let actors be whatever they could be. Have you seen what they look like in their get-ups? With the dots and the suits and the cameras, the camera devices that they walk around in? That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't care if it creates these CGI mapping technology or this. It looks terrible. Looks retarded. How is that acting anymore? It's ridiculous. Cynthia Erivo and Hugh Jackman on Wicked success. Maybe not so much. Wicked 2, Wicked Part 2, not so much a success. I called that one wrong. I called it wrong. Wolverine's future not the end. Yeah, he's gonna keep doing Wolverine until till the steroids can't let him do it anymore. Jon Stewart, Rachel Maddow among 2025 Walter Cronkite Awards for excellent. Oh, give me a break. That just proves once again awards are worthless. It's all bullshit. Procter & Gamble backs do soap opera consisting entirely of micro episodes. Weird. I hate micro stuff. I don't. If I watch a micro, I'll watch a video for 5 minutes. I'm not gonna watch a show for 5 to 6 minutes. That's not watching a show. That's ridiculous. I don't care about CBS News. Let's go one more. See if there's anything interesting here. Quick scroll. Quick scroll. Up, 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 up. Anything jumping out? Anything? Oops, stop it with your fucking thing. Japan expands film incentive program. Introduces multi-year subsidies for international productions. Want to make money. Anything of interest here. Nope. Let's move on to IGN. Era of Ruining Scalps. Games Workshop revives special edition Horus Heresy book after scalpers brought down Warhammer.com, and this time fans actually have a chance of buying it. Okay. Some of that doesn't feel like it makes sense to me, but maybe Kel can break that one down for me. Pirates of the Caribbean actor Johnny Depp will produce and potentially star in what we already talked about that. Determined Baldur's Gate 3 fan calculates it has 236 hours of recorded dialogue, and even Larian had no idea it was that much. You know, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I have no interest in Baldur's Gate 3. I have no problem with that kind of production value put into a game. The future is here, and it's all looking good. McDonald's takes AI Christmas advert down following AI backlash. There was an AI McDonald's commercial. I guess I missed that one. Guess I missed it. Netflix unveils Avatar: Last Order Season 2 trailer. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with that. Even if, I mean, it would have taken you guys paying me to watch that for me to watch it, but we're not doing that anymore. Excuse me. Hang on. Sorry, that was unpleasant. Sorry, I had to deal with that. Ugh. Remainder of this sickie. God damn, 4 weeks in now. Ugh. Okay. Good enough. Good enough explanation. Yeah, I mean, I would accept a I would accept a $20 super chat or tip to watch this trailer, but that's how I'm going to do it. Otherwise, I'm not giving it a time of day. I'm not dead yet. It's just that I can't. It's not. I don't want to talk about it. GTA 6 developers fired by Rockstar due to alleged union busting is a deeply concerning case, according to UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, who pledges that ministers will now investigate. Union busting is good. Fuck unions. Skyrim's new Switch 2 port takes advantage of new hardware. Skyrim was out on the PS4 and PC. It's built for that. The Switch 2 is just a PS4 equivalent. What's the difference? Christopher Nolan launching 6 million the Odyssey prologue in IMAX theaters this weekend will also run before Avatar 3. Oh man. I don't care about IMAX. That means you're only going to see this if you go to IMAX. I hate IMAX elitism. I really do. I don't like it. John Romero's new shooter will be really new experience inspired by games like Elden Ring. Huh. Here's our fans thinks Marvel's first Avengers Doomsday trailer is imminent and will be attached to Avatar Fire and Ice. Of course it will. Never garbage. And now I got to blow my nose. Hold on. Yeah, I think I've said before, I don't like the Total War games. I just don't. I just don't. Don't like Total War games. Don't like the format. A Big Christmas Miracle? South Park Season 28, Episode 5 looks set to set final deliver Satan and Trump's butt baby. Oh, God. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Matt Parker, Trey Stone, they are no longer the premier satirists that they were for 30 years. It's just the 90s. They were the top tier satirists. They made fun of everybody. This obsession with Trump proves they're no better than anybody else. That comedy is essentially dead. So R.I.P. South Park. R.I.P. South Park, man. Netflix done a tribute. Okay, we already did that. Did that before. PlayStation Plus gets 2 more blockbusters later this month, report reveals. I don't even take advantage of that. I use it and I don't. I use it and I don't. Things are about to get chilly in Arc Raiders cold snap update. Oh, well. Oh, you guys, you got you guys in the chat, you're all playing Arc Raiders now, so here comes an Arc Raiders update. Here you go. I am holding out. I feel like Jen and I are the only ones who haven't given in yet. And it would take it would take a lot of effort to get me into that game. It would take effort. I am not going to do it of my own volition. I really don't think I will. HBO Max subscriber files class action lawsuit over Netflix's proposed $72 billion acquisition of Warner Brothers. That's weird. I don't think that's gonna hold. That's not gonna get there. Pokemon Legends ZA version Mega Dimension DLC released, revealing many new evolutions. And I'm sure those of you who play it will have fun. Call of Duty will no longer do back-to-back releases of Modern Warfare or Black Ops games. Well, considering Black Ops 7 completely bombed, not surprised they're doing something, but I'm sure it's all window dressing. I'm sure none of it is substantial. None of it at all. And now we're into yesterday's stuff. So there we go. Oh, and apparently, yeah, I saw this. Sigourney Weaver is going to join Phoebe Waller-Bridge Tomb Raider. Yay! Not going to make it any better. And then everybody think they figured out what the weird statue that Jeff Keighley put up for Game Awards. Everybody now believes, and it kind of fits with the last tip he gave, I think, that it's just going to be Divinity 3. That's just going to be Divinity 3. And I played the first one. It was okay. It was all right. But to make a third one, it is a Larian game. So people were right that the statue had a Larian feel to it. So remember we talked about that on Friday on Ballbusters last week. So yeah, Divinity Original Sin 3. I don't care. I didn't get 2. I played 1 out of a need to play something like that at the time, and it was all right. I beat the crap out of it. I mean, I did what I do with those games. I'm very good at those old school top down, isometric RPGs. I'm very good at those, and I kicked its ass. But I have no interest in playing those games further. I do not. But some people will, I guess. I feel like that this whole statue thing, though, for Divinity Original Sin 3. I feel that that's a little underwhelming as the reveal. It's just a little underwhelming to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just not into it. I don't know. And that's kind of it. Let's check out Park Place. 25 domestic box office, a huge disappointment. Why it's unlikely to match an awful 2024. Yeah, it's terrible. Shareholders unite to challenge controversial Disney World DAS overall. Rachel Maddow demands CBS reinstate Stephen Colbert. Calls CBS takeover a huge embarrassment. Honey, you're an embarrassment. Nobody watches your show on MS Now. Nobody watches you. And don't care about Universal Cruise Lines. I don't care. Anything else here? Oh, yeah. Paramount's X account was hacked by political activism, calling them fascists. These people are pathetic. They're pathetic. Completely pathetic. All right. Everything else we've seen. That's the news. I'm sticking to it. You guys can think about if you want anything to do with that. Otherwise, I guess we have a chat, maybe watch this reviews to get to. Yep, we do. Yeah, we do. All right, let me set this up. Let me get this up. Okay, so once again, I invite you to join me for chat. Made me watch this reviews today, courtesy of Kel. We're going to talk about 2006, 2007. I'm not sure when it released. Southland Tales, starring a lot of different people. Got everybody in this from The Rock, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Mandy Moore, John Larroquette, even Justin Timberlake, and even a bunch of SNL people. If they had Sherry O'Terry kick another dude in the balls and beat the crap out of another man, I was going to scream. Glad she got what she got in that. John Lovitz. I mean, a bunch of washout SNL people and a bunch of classic SNL people. This movie, well, it keeps in line with what Kel is doing to me with his choices. Where Kratos wants to break me, Kel wants me to go. Kel wants me to go. What? Okay. This was made leading up to the election of 2008. So, yeah. The minute Sherry O'Terry kicked Christopher Lambert in the balls, I was out. The minute they had Sherry O'Terry kick Christopher Lambert's ass, I was like, oh, fuck this movie. And then it only got worse from there. Because here we have, this is an alternate history movie where in the early 2000s, a nuclear bomb was set off in Texas. And it triggered World War III. Now, remember, this is during the Iraq War, the Afghanistan War period of time, and everybody was really upset that we're over there fighting, rightfully so. There was a lot of fuckery going on there. We're not going to deny that. And the Patriot Act was introduced, and this and that, and all that kind of stuff going on, which led to people being so disillusioned with the government as it was that they welcomed in Barry Obama. But he wasn't even on, like, here's how this movie was made before Barry was making his stamp in the world yet. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have been in this in some way, shape, or form. Anyway, so a couple bombs get exploded. World War III starts, and America reinstates the draft. The Republican Party reinstates the draft, and they ramp up the NSA to levels that actually were ramped up during Obama's administration. Here's the irony of this movie. Everything this movie says Republicans do and the right does is what the left ended up doing during Obama's 2 terms. That's the irony of this whole retarded movie. And I don't know if they did it on purpose. I mean, I feel like it's all... I feel like this movie it is a political hit piece. If that you believe in one thing, you are a fascist. That's what this movie is telling me. Not to mention the gobbledygook nonsense they throw in there. Anyway, so war starts, and because of that, the resources are drying up because no more Arab oil. Of course, this is before we learned that we, America, have plenty of oil at our reach, within our reach. But of course, they got to send that. Got to have a message. Anyway, and apparently, The Rock plays an action star who joined up, but is also married to the daughter of the guy running for vice president on the Republican ticket for 2008. Of course, in this movie, they make up fictional people to be running for the Republicans, but have it be Clinton Lieberman for the ticket for the Democrat side. I mean, it's I'll give you this. It's mocking both sides, but it's definitely ironic that the shit they're claiming the right does is what Obama ended up doing. The true neo-Marxists, the true commie Marxists that were Obama, Barry, and his crew ended up doing when they were in control for two terms following this in real world time. Anyway, and as I said, I mentioned, they make a big deal that the Republican Party has turned America into a fascist state, and everything's coming down to the battleground state of California. Really? California, which ironically say gas prices are forced to be the government has jacked up gas prices in California. The federal government has. No, California jacks up its own gas prices. Thank you very much. I'm sure our California friends can tell us that. California needs no help in jacking up oil prices. But amidst it all, the Rock's character, I forget his name, disappears and is picked up in the desert by Sarah Michelle Gellar's porn star. I forget her name, Krista Now, I think it is, something like that. And that's the only thing I was really interested in the movie. Can I see some of Sarah Michelle Gellar's character's porn? Can I see some of that? I'd be down to watch that. Hell yeah, that's peak Sarah Michelle Gellar right there. That's peak hotness. She's at her peak hot right there before she did the plastic surgery and stuff. She looks like herself. Her body's still rocking. Anyway, so she picks it up, makes a bunch of porn with him. She wants to turn her porn career into she wants to reframe. She wants to restart her career to be slightly more legitimate or something like that. Anyway, but she's being used by the neo-Marxists, and they're framed as these people who are trying to stop this act that would basically eliminate the Fourth Amendment. This NSA act, this U.S. ident. Basically, everybody needs a card. Remember, they frame, and I know what you're saying here, that it's the Patriot Act was on everybody's mind. Of course, the Patriot Act everybody time, but the Patriot Act didn't have everybody with an ID. We're actually doing that now. Real ID is a thing now, and it's been happening under all the government. That I don't fuck Real ID, but they're all the neo-Marxists are crying, we don't want U.S. ident. Yet in reality, 20 years later, when COVID was happening, these people were very happy to have you have an ID card to show your COVID status. Remember that. Remember that. There's the irony again. The things that this movie is claiming is going on one side ends up being done by the other one. Anyway, so this whole movie is dancing around the fact that it's the election, and the election is the big turning point. Is the war going to continue to that? But it's all being narrated by Justin Timberlake's. I'm not even sure is he even active duty anymore, or is he just sitting on his? It's so unclear to me watching this. He got wounded in Fallujah by Stifler, who we frames as being the twin brother of a cop, and they need him to be a racist cop in order to get the Rock's character caught up in a video of what at first would be a staged murder, so it can be used in an anti-campaign slam to have the Republicans lose the election so Hillary can win. And what happens though is eventually it turns out I feel like I need to. Oh yeah, I got to put one more layer on this. Hold on. There's one more layer to this. At the same time, because of the loss of the oil, some dude in his weird harem of women, including Bai Ling and her glass cutting nipples. She has glass cutting nipples, by the way. They have created a new type of energy source that essentially generates the perpetual motion of the waves in the ocean and will send it out like essentially a wireless signal to power everything, which turns out to be akin to a screenplay that The Rock's character wrote about a schizophrenic cop that learns that the world is going to end because of a shift in the in the rotation of the Earth that slightly put everything off by 0.00006%, but caused a lot of anomalies in society and brainwave patterns, and people are nuts, and the world's going to end. But in reality, the world is going to end, because I'm skipping to it because I can't go through every scene in this movie because it jumps from one crazy scene to another. Where it turns out that the dude who made the perpetual motion engine, he is in fact a neo-Marxist that wants the downfall of everything. But what they accidentally did when they turned the machine on is they opened up a rift to the fourth dimension. And they ended up sending monkeys through it, but you couldn't send monkeys through because they don't have a human soul. So they ended up sending the Rock through it, driven by Stifler. And Stifler and the Rock then reappeared before they sent him in there 29 minutes later, with the future versions themselves. And the whole thing is that this whole movie is narrated by Justin Timberlake, who does a music video right in the middle of the movie about how essentially the world, we're in Revelations, the world is ending, and it's going to go out with a bang, and that a new prophet, a new Messiah will be given to us through this fourth dimensional rift. At least that's how I translate it. And it's happening because the same soul cannot occupy the same place at the same time. That's actually a meta thing that I deal with in a story at one point, but I deal with it in a more interesting way than what they do. They make it really meta and crazy and world ending. And it's all about making sure that two people, future version and past version, and when you go through the fourth dimension thing, you lose your memory. You get amnesia. So the version of the Rock running around is the future version. His older version got killed. They try to make him think he did it, but they killed him. And you got two Stiflers running around, one who doesn't remember who he is and one who does. And everybody's trying to keep the Stiflers. Well, they don't know. They think it's just the Rock, but then they have the other ones. They're not supposed to shake hands. And the whole thing is when he shakes his hand, and they're quoting like Revelations and shit like that, I think. Shake his hand, the world will end. Well, point is, after lots of attempts at blackmail and this and that, and all kinds of crazy shit, there's this giant Zeppelin that they're launching for reasons. And the Rock's character is actually not in love with his wife. He's in love with his wife. He's also in love with Sarah Michelle Gellar's porn star, but he actually understands what's going on. His fantasy reality is really the reality. I mean, it's really crazy crap going on in this movie. And at one point, I was bored and falling asleep. I'll admit that. I made myself stay awake. And it's the ending of the world sort of ends, I think, because the neo-Marxists win. Their informants are everywhere. They declare riots and war, and they destroy the NSA, and then they set it up so that, well, everything falls apart in the sense that they didn't meet the setup that the two Stiflers would shake hands and start causing the fourth dimension to kind of pear shape the world. And I don't know. So Boxer Santeros, Locke's character, was sent to the Antichrist was the Baron. This movie is nuts, man. And the new Messiah is Stifler when he drinks the fourth dimension juice, because they turned it into a drug. They turned fourth dimension juice into a drug. I don't know, man. And then and they blow up the Zeppelin. Everybody dies on the Zeppelin because dude with the rocket launcher on the floating car. This movie was cracked, man. I did not enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it one bit. I didn't like anybody in it. Too many people, too much cast. Ugh. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's Revelations. It's essentially Revelations happening. And it's just messed up. Southland Tales. Southland Tales. That's what this is called. So I don't like this movie. One, because I personally think that The political messaging is retarded for me because the ironic nature of it is just stupid. But other than that, I mean, the acting is all fine. No one does that. Well, Sherry O'Terry, I hate Sherry O'Terry, and I hate all that generation of SNL people. I hate them all. John Lovitz was good. The Rock wasn't bad in it. Sarah Michelle Gellar was hot. Always liked John Larroquette, and a few others in there. But it's just a. Oh, how would I know that? I didn't even know this movie existed until you told me. I never even heard of this movie until you told me about it. I mean, she's not funny either. She ain't funny. So there it is, guy. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, there's also a cans cut out there. There's the release, and then there's the cans cut. I don't know what the difference is. Maybe that has the Janine Garofalo scene in it. I don't know. But this movie is out there. I can see how it's possibly taking shots at all sides, but it really frames one side better than the other, or at least more worse. I mean, now more worse. Yeah, that's a word. But I understand in the frame of time, a lot of people are angry in the early 2000s. I get that. I was a little apolitical at the time. I was kind of just trying to do that. But it's something about this movie just was annoying. I don't like this type of stuff. I really don't. It's not the type of movies I enjoy. It's all over the place with its direction and plots, and it's I wouldn't say it's confusing, but they don't do enough to properly characterize the narratives, I think. I mean, I assume Kel has seen this enough times that he gets what's going on in every angle. First watch, I get most of it, but a lot of it, obviously, I miss a couple things. I didn't understand that the Baron was the Antichrist. I didn't get that. I can admit that. I'm not going to pretend that I got it all. But so Southland Tales, watch it at your own risk. If I never see it again, I'll be happy. Okay, there we go. All right, there you go. Another chat made me watch this reviews is in the books. Cans cut is garbage. Well, the cans is garbage. Well, anyway. All right. I guess we're done. You guys got anything for me here? No. No super chats, no memberships, no chips. Well, we're at the hour, so we might as well wrap it up. And I will go about my day. Because I got to go out and I've got to go buy a new air mattress this afternoon. Fortunately, the car's going to be home a little early. And yeah. I have to keep calling the mechanic. They didn't pick up yesterday when I kept calling them. I have to get my oil changed, and I have to get my car inspected for the year. Hate that. Hate to say. No, I've not seen Lord of War. I know it's a Nick Cage movie based on the actual guy who was the arms dealer. I know that. I've never actually seen that one. Okay, so what do we got rest of the week? Tonight, I'm probably not going to stream anything tonight. What I'm probably going to do is, once I can get a working bed, I'm probably going to get some sleep. I'll be on tonight, but as soon as I can, probably take a nap. Can't right now because I'll fall to the floor. Tomorrow is Thursday. I have no idea what the plan is tomorrow. I know Friday we got Ball Busters, Dermy Karaoke. Saturday night driving. We're watching Scrooge for driving this week. Do we have any co-op planned for this weekend? At least not that I'm involved with. And then Sunday, we've got Roundtable. We've got Anime Odyssey. We're watching season 1 of Code Geass. And then I've got, of course, Wormhole Watch. And then Monday, come back around for Doctor Who Cares Reviews with myself, Jed, and Dermy. Discuss The War Between Land and Sea, episodes 3 and 4, and probably lose our minds. Anyway, so with all that said, I'm down for Kingdoms. I'm down to start a new game. I learned a lot with I took the lessons I learned from our last game, and I applied it last night, and I was doing pretty well. I'm probably going to go back to that game. I'm doing pretty well with that one when I'm done with stuff today, and we'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys. All right, guys. Thank you guys all for joining me today. Let's see one thing real quick here. Hold on 1 second. I want to check something. Just looking at something real quick here. Okay. No. All right then. All right. So we are gonna. We're gonna wrap it up. I will see you guys tomorrow. Back here, same Adam time, same Adam channel, for another edition of what's the show called? The Daily Dive. Jeez, I'm out of it. I'm starting to lose. You could tell my attention is starting to waver. I'm starting to lose my focus. So we're going to end it before I do something really stupid. Thank you guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, take it easy.